Turnover chain, turnover chain, turnover chain, turnover chain, turnover chain, turnover chain, turnover chain. You seen big homie get a fumble, he get a turnover chain. Seen big homie get the pick off, he get a turnover chain, 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 turnover chain. You see the whole crowd going user, we want the turnover chain. See the whole crowd going crazy, we want that turnover chain, turnover chain. Turnover chain is deeper than jewelry, deeper than blink. It's deeper. See, this is our thing, and you was the team, it's strictly for King. Invented the swag, you rented and brag, but we want it back. Let me get that. But you can keep the old one, cause we keep something new in the bag. All of these players is hungry, don't come in here thinking it's funny. We aiming for something, rocking the chains when it's sunny. Even when raining or something, we ain't gonna be something. I hope your quarterback don't think it's sweet. The defense will make them take a seat. And if somebody strip the ball out, then somebody get a Cuban link. Now you know how I go with the fans though. We be going wild out in the stands though. If you're not with the team, you're not familiar. If you throwing U's up, you not familiar. Come on, get loose like a band, trombone. Throw 3 or 5 up, my home. CWA, tell them about it. All the canes going wild when we yelling this out. Turnover chain, 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 turnover chain. You seen big homie get the fumble, he get a turnover chain. Seen big homie get the pick off, he get a turnover chain, 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 turnover chain. You see the whole crowd going user, we want the turnover chain. See the whole crowd going crazy, we want that turnover chain. Who that?
So low, so low, so low, deep. So low, so low, so low, deep.
Hit some canes over there. Hit some canes over there.
Welcome to Coach Hayes Football Live. He can talk about anything from high school to the pros. This guy knows the game, so you better not be half-stepping.
I can guarantee you most of the audience is going to agree with me before they agree with you.
Strap in, because Coach Hayes is about to
Crack your cranium and fertilize your brain. Go ahead and right here, right now.
subscribe now and check out CoachHayesFootball.com.
What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Hey, we back in the building, man. It is what it is. We rolling right now. Matter of fact, I got to block this thing out. Listen, let me know, as always, if everything looks good, sounds good. So if I need to make some changes, I can real quick. We got a super exciting show in the building. Y'all already blowing up the comment section. I'm loving it, man. We got some Bama fans in here. We definitely got some Canes in the building. You know what I mean? And we ready to rock and roll. As always, man. Matter of fact, she the producer, man. Hey, Chanel in the building. First lady through the smoke. She always the first one to give me a thumbs up. Let's make it happen. Everybody want to talk about Avante Williams. We definitely going to jump into that. But before we do, I want to make sure I introduce these guys, man, properly, because I actually liked them. I actually ran across this show, and another YouTuber named Max actually put us together, man, and kind of put me onto these cats. So I'm going to introduce them, but I don't like talking too much because I may forget some. So I let them create their own problems. As we say in the adult world, you pour your own problems, man, so that way you have your own issues. But anyway, with all that being said, I got these guys in here, as well as supposed to have Kareem Brown on, number 99. He's a Miami alum. And we're going to talk a little bit about Bryan Pata and his legacy at the University of Miami. What was his impact? I can definitely talk about it from the high school standpoint, from coaching against him when he was at Central. But Kareem can definitely talk about it from the friendship side, teammate side, and brotherhood side. So let's go ahead and get this thing rolling. I got my guys in the building right now. Everybody say what's up to Storm Warning. Guys, if y'all don't know who Storm Warning is, guys, it's a relatively new YouTube channel out there for the Miami Hurricanes. Like I said, I'm not going to talk much, but I'll start off with this. Since Big Groove, you at the top up here, man. Talk to us, man. What's going on with you? How you doing today?
What's up, baby? You know, I'm good, man. You know, just chillaxing on this good old Sunday, man. You know, just cooling, bro. Happy to be here, man. Appreciate you bringing us on.
Oh, good, man. Hey, you gave out the call, man. What the call was that? What was that?
Man, that's my intake of an ibis call. I ain't never been around one, so I think it sounds like that. So that's what I'm rocking with. I've been doing this for years, dog. I've been doing this same call for years.
Hey, listen, I'm telling you, these cats wild on their show. Y'all got to check them out, man. They a lot of fun, man. He's laid back. He said he ain't never seen the ibis, so I take it you ain't in Florida then.
I'm in Atlanta, baby. You know, I've been down to South Florida before, but I haven't ran across the ibis yet. So, yeah. Man,
they all over the place. It's something outside my house, and I live in Orlando. I just took a picture of a dude from Alabama on my Twitter. He cool cat, man. I've been on their show, but they Bama fans. And he was like, Coach, you getting nervous yet? I sent him a tweet back with a picture. I don't know if y'all seen on Twitter. I got a picture throwing up to you, right? With an ibis sitting behind me. I said, I ain't never scared when the ibis got my back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hey, and busting my head because my thumbs be separated, man. What's up with that? Y'all cats be touching thumbs, man?
Yes, sir.
We always touching thumbs.
Oh, man. We old school. We separate the thumb like the logo, man. Y'all, we got to talk about that, man. We got to talk about that. All right. So let's get into this piece, man. Next, the second part of this great duo is Ablakk down at the bottom right here, man. So Ablakk, talk to us, man. Give us a little bit about yourself as well.
What's going on, family? You know, this is Ablakk.
Hold on, you got a call?
My bad, brother.
No, you good. We gonna come back. You got a call or something I need to know about?
No, I don't got no call. No call, son. You know, no call, son. That's my call, son, right there. That's my call. You know, I lead the bird calls to my man Groove. That's his lane. That's him. You know what I'm saying? We unique like that. He got his joint, and we gonna keep it like that. That's my guy. You know what I mean?
Metaphor. He missed the metaphor.
That's it. Yeah, I'm the metaphor guy. You know, I come up with all the sayings. You know what I'm saying?
So go ahead, man. I'm gonna definitely get back to you, man, as well. I know you didn't mention it, but I'm gonna get back to you, Big Groove, especially. But go ahead, man. Talk to us, Ablakk, how you became a Hurricane fan and all of that good stuff, man. And where are you currently living now and all of that?
Well, I'm currently living in Washington, D.C., the DMV. I'm currently living there. I'm originally from the tri-state area, right outside New York. I lived in South Florida for a year. In 02, 02 to 03, I lived in South Florida. I lived in Pembroke Pines. But I became a Hurricane fan in 84, 84. And I remember I walked in the living room and they were on. And I asked my father, I was like, Dad, you know, who this? He was like, it's Miami Hurricanes. I said, is this one of your teams? He's like, yeah, this is my college squad. And I was like, I like, why you like them? And he was like, because. He said, it's a bunch of brothers who talk ish and kick ish. I said, okay, well, that's my team. I said, well, ever since then, I've been a Hurricane fan ever since 1984. So I've seen the ups, I've been through the downs and the backups again. So yeah, you know, we got this rocky relationship, you know what I mean? They keep me stressed out, but I love them.
I love it. So Big Groove, talk to us, man. How did you become a Hurricane fan? I don't know if you're originally from Atlanta or not, but how did you become a Hurricane fan and all of that?
Man, it's crazy, bro. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama, born and raised, man. So I was pushed and bred to be an Alabama fan. And I became an Alabama fan, a Miami fan from the 1992 game. I remember it like it was yesterday. My dad and my uncles was hyped. You know, I had a party going on, and I seen the guys come up. I was like, "Ooh, I like their colors," and the colors just struck me, man. And I said, I'm finna root for this team. I got a whooping. Actually, my dad actually whooped me for rooting for Miami because it's that serious down there. My dad is a diehard Alabama fan, and he said we don't root for nobody in this house but Alabama. And that fueled me even more because I'm a rebellious guy. As you can tell on the show, I'm rebellious. I'm going to go against the grain. I started rooting even more. But when they lost, he made me know that's why you don't root against Alabama. And then, you know, and it just took off from there, man. Right now, I'm going through it. My dad sent me messages every week, every day, reminding me about 92 and what's going to happen again. And I'm telling him, hey, brother, that's different. You know what I'm saying? It's different. So, you know,
Well, listen, man. Hey, I gotta say that's some Bama-ish right there to whip your son for rooting for the other team, dog.
Yes, sir.
Real quick, man, before I get into the next segment, man, because they killing me about Avante Williams. Jesus Christ, we gonna talk fresh 35-42. Let's talk about Williams. Okay, we could talk about Williams, but none of us on this show gonna make a decision about Williams. I can tell you that right now. All right, so we gonna talk about him. I promise you. All right, and I got a real big take on that right there. Anyway, so anyhow. Real quick. So you being from Birmingham, you being from I'm gonna say upstate by the tri-state DC area.
Right,
How did you guys meet?
We actually met off Kane Sport. We used to call into the Kane Sport show all the time. I used to do my call and all that. And me and Black used to have a lot of the common, topics and the same views on a lot of topics that the fans were against there. We just kind of created a bond, and he hit me up, and we kind of clicked offline, and we just called each other, talk about the game, and we end up getting into a chat together. We'll video record and talk to each other about the games. And it's funny, Black came up with the idea for us to, hey man, we keep getting this pub, because we used to just go on live in the Facebook group. We used to just go live and just talk about, what's going on. And people were just pumping us. Hey, man, y'all need to do a YouTube show. Y'all need to do a YouTube show. My schedule's so busy because I train boxers and stuff like that. So I was like, man, I love to do it. I just got to find the time. And I work a lot, too. So Black was like, bro, we need to do this. And then, he pulled some strings. T2Y, shout out to him. He helped us out, kind of helped get everything organized and helped us with the StreamYard and stuff like that. And man, it's been golden ever since. You feel me? And we just got a great chemistry with each other. We don't always agree. We as you can see, we go back and forth. We fight a lot. We argue about topics and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, we come back and it's all love. It's just our passion for, we just strong-minded brothers. And that.
Hey, Coach Hayes. Hey, it's always. It's always disagreements in that family, siblings. It's like that sibling rivalry. Look, yeah, I know the sky is blue, but I'm going to say it's powder blue. You going to say sky blue, I'm going to say powder blue. So what? You know what I mean?
I heard that, man. So listen, man, y'all boys own it. Real quick, let people know. I don't know if y'all got a schedule or whatever, what times y'all come out, but let them know the actual name of the channel so they can search it or whatever. We can throw it down in the comment section. I'll put it in the description as well. And then we're going to jump into this Kane stuff these Kane's killing us about.
Okay, yeah. The name of the show is Storm Warning. We usually try to do on Thursdays and Fridays because, like I said, we're my work schedule. So whenever we do a show on a Thursday, we usually do it at 9:30. But then the following week we'll do it on a Friday because I'm off like every other weekend. So we just try to accommodate each other's schedule. But if we do have to change it, because he has two young boys that transition into high school, things of that nature, and they really good football players. So he be at practice with them. So we just trying to accommodate each other's schedules. But the main days are Thursdays and Fridays. It usually rotates every other week. So we have a show on Thursday one week. We usually typically going to have a show the Friday the following week.
Around 9:30 p.m.
Yeah.
Because
we're in the U network.
Eastern
time. So we're in the U network. So right now, we got the flow show. They coming on around 8:45 now. So we kind of push our Thursday time to like 10:30 because we shot our last show at 10:30. Just so just try to be, we're all a family, so we want everybody to get their airtime and stuff like that. So we
I got you. Well, that's perfect, man. So I got my man. He in the background right now, but I got to do this piece here because I forgot. Y'all got me so excited. I forgot to take care of my sponsors, man. Look here, man. So big shout out to the sponsor of the show, Mr. Alex Tabio from Certified Home Loans. Guys, if you're looking to do anything in the state of Florida with rental properties, first hometown buyer, whatever the case may be, anything dealing with real estate, do me a favor, give him a call. That's how Coach got his crib. No more green screen. You know what I'm saying? So check him out. Phone number is 305-205-1697 or email him. Trust me, this dude pick up the phone no matter what time. And again, that is not the number to the show. He called me all the time. Hey, Coach, I got about 6 calls. People trying to call in and voice their opinion on my voicemail. So, no, that is not the number to the show. That is not me down there. That's our sponsors. All right. Also, big shout out to Polo D. Big shout out to Solo D for letting us use his music, man. You know, we had to pump it up a little bit, have fun. We got 135 in the chat right now, man. Listen, we gonna get to Avante Williams. Jesus. All right. But right now I got my man in the building. I want to bring him on because I think it's super important that we talk about this. We got KB in the building.
Big
and
KB.
we want to talk about Bryan Pata.
Mr. Number 99, B99. What's going on, sir?
What's up, champion? What up there, boy?
B99.
Hey, man, that's the only dude I know can run through the smoke with a belt on. You know what I'm saying?
Right. He be
got the belt on.
out there, though. That boy used to be nice out there with the gear. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Appreciate
I mean, he put it on by Tech that year, Jack.
Hey, I'm talking about the dress code. Hey, KB used to be nice out there with the visor thing. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So y'all can tell these some true fans, right? They remember a dude with the visor. You know what I'm saying? These some true fans. But I do want to do this because KB, I don't know how much time you got. No, I know you got some things going on. But what I want to do right here in this segment, man, we know there's been some new developments in the Bryan Pata case. And again, this show right here, we're not here to talk about the allegations. I want to talk about the young man. I want to talk about him as his impact as a player. And like I said before, I know you probably didn't hear this piece, but I want to talk about, because I can speak to coaching against him when he was at Central. You can speak about in the sense of your friendship, teammate, brotherhood, that kind of stuff. And I'll just start off by saying this. I knew this was a bad boy when we went to play Central. He the only dude out there with orange and white cleats on, and Central green and white.
Hey, you got to be special for that.
Let me tell you something. I knew he was a bad boy, and he was big, man. And, you know, it was a lot that went around that last season. They had some games taken away and a whole bunch of stuff, but that still didn't take away from the thing that how he played the game, man, and he played. But I'm not going to belittle high school because I know we would talk about this. So, KB, how did you guys form that bond? Did you do that in high school, or was that when you got to the U?
No, man, it actually started in high school. And Coach, I want to say, man, I appreciate you for bringing me on, man, and salute to y'all boys for everything that y'all do, man. But it actually started in high school. Obviously, Bryan was 1 year younger than me. So he was class, I think, 2003, you know, if I have that correctly.
Correct.
And he was highly recruited. So, you know how Coach Shannon was. Coach Shannon was like, oh, well, we bringing one in. He finna take y'all spot, this, that, and the third. And he was talking to like me, Baraka, John Wood, all the young ones that came in the year before. So, you know, they just kept hyping him up. And, you know, we see the little Miami Herald, the little press clippings and all that stuff. So me, Baraka, and John Wood, we like, man, we finna go check this boy out. We got to see what he about, if he's all the hype they say he is. So one Friday, either we was off that week or bye week. We went to Central was playing somebody, and we was like, we going to the game. We want to see it live in effect to see if he the real deal. So we get there easily, biggest person on the field, got number 4 on, and got orange and white cleats. So we like, yeah, that's him right there. That's him right there. Dominated the entire game. So we was like, okay, you know. At that time, we know we welcome competition. So we was like, okay, so he gonna be a dog, man. So we welcomed him with open arms. And what people don't know a little bit about what you mentioned, Coach, is that he had the biggest heart in the world. Bryan will give you the shirt off his back, no lie. And people don't know that side of him because, you know, you hear all the other stuff with he had big chains and all that, man. Bryan, he was a great person. You know, he has a big family with all his brothers and sisters. You know, shout out Edwin and Edric and Fednall and all of them. But he would literally give you the shirt off his back.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So let's talk a little bit because that's good as you coming in. Let's talk a bit because a lot of the pictures, even the thumbnail of this show has you guys on there. Believe it or not, hold up. This been up here forever. I don't even know if you remember this picture.
Of course.
Right?
Georgia.
Yeah, that's y'all right there. So I got that up there with the signatures on it and everything else, man. So that's KB. Backward. That's KB, and that's Bryan Pata right there, man. So I'm just saying, like, I'm talking away from the camera, but so I'm saying, as you guys got to the U, and you take them under your wing, was it a lot of teaching from an athletic standpoint, or was it like, nah, this dude got it?
No, I think it was like anything else. He was a raw talent. You know, in high school, a lot of times, especially being a big man, you get away with not being technically sound because we were just bigger and more athletic than everybody else. We just running. So from that standpoint, remember we had Big Vern. Big Vern was there. God bless his dad, Carlos Joseph. We had all them big boys there. So you had to be technically sound coming into that situation. We were number one in the country, you know, with all top tier recruits. So the thing for him was like anybody else developing at that time. He had the raw physical ability. He just needed the little fine tuning. But he caught on so quick that as soon as you told that boy something once, he was in go mode. He had it.
That's awesome. Fellas, y'all got any questions for KB in regards to Bryan Pata? Because y'all true ultimate fans around here. I know y'all remember the days.
Oh yeah, man. I was in high school, you know what I'm saying, around that day. It's crazy, bro. My high school, we used to watch the Miami games, and we used to kind of center things around our program to kind of emulate that type stuff. See, my favorite player ever is Edgerrin James. I grew locks. I wore number 5. Everything. He got a shrine in my crib when it comes to Edgerrin James. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, I just love the fact that y'all guys had such a hold on the culture back then, and a lot of high school people from 27 to 35, they know the U. Everybody emulated the U. You got to think the Smoke, Auburn. Y'all was the standard. You know what I'm saying? Just the way y'all played the game, man. And I just remember the Florida State rivalries that on the Labor Day games, man. How intense those games used to be. Like my best friend played at Florida State, Darius McClure. He came out at 04. So I used to see this. I used to go to some of the games. Like if I had an off week, I go check out a game with his family or whatnot. Bro, those games used to be so intense, and just the level of competition. Like you can tell that y'all been playing each other for years, and you can see it on the field, man. And I just can't wait till that get back to that type of football from Florida State and Miami, because I want Florida State to be good, because that just makes it better, the rivalry better. I get, you know what I'm saying? I do want to keep that 7-0 record or whatever we got going right now, but those Labor Day 13 to 14 games and Sonora's mom's taking that screen to the house, you can't beat that. You know what I'm saying? So, but man, I just want to say, you know what I'm saying, thank you for kind of molding me. Those squads molded me as a football player.
Like Miami was the culture for everything. Like even in hip hop, you know what I mean? Back you would see hip hoppers, not just 2 Live Crew and Uncle Luke. Like, you know, you would see, you know, Pac wearing Miami stuff and Cats from New York. Like Miami was like that team. Like Miami represented. It's almost like how Mike Tyson, how black men, how we love Mike Tyson. That's how University of Miami was for us. You know, we like, yo, that's like our team. You respected them because they went out, they played hard, they talked that ish, and they backed it up. No matter what. And you know, my question for you with the brother Bryan, what was his signature moment for you when you looked at him in practice and you was like, yeah, he's gonna be a good one here. Like he's gonna be a good one.
Well, first of all, before we even got to practice, his size, because coming in, you know, as big men or back then rather, we used to lift, but we wasn't coming in all jacked up. He came in jacked up like he did 10 years. And that was the biggest thing. It's like, man, he's a grown man, like legit. He was a grown man coming out just from the get-go. But I think when I saw him in practice and at Miami, it wasn't no games. When you got there, they was going to put you against the best person. Like when I got there, it was one-on-ones. All right, Kareem, you going with Big Vern. I'm like, Big Vern, let me get one of the freshmen that came in with me. Like, let me get bagged off. They're like, no, because we know what you would do against him because you just played him in high school. We want to see what you're going to do to somebody that's been in college. So I saw him go against Big Vern and Carlos Joseph and all those dudes, Brett Romberg, and beat those dudes as freshmen. So that's when I knew he was going to be the real deal.
So I got a question. What was his best attribute as a player that, you know, from your standpoint? What do you think he did the best?
That's an easy one. His strength. He came in. He was a grown man already when he came in. So the biggest thing that he brought to the table was that as a freshman, as an 18-year-old freshman, he was strong as some of our seniors.
So did y'all have like any like underlying like competitions together? Like me and my homeboy, we both play running back, so we used to have like, okay, I'm gonna rush for more yards and y'all gonna have the most touchdowns type deal. Did y'all have that type of personal competition with each other?
Absolutely, 100%. What our thing was, we had Jerome McDougal, Jamal Green, Andrew Williams, we had all them boys. So we said as a group, we wanted to outshine them because they got all of the pub as the press clippings. But believe it or not, we would come in, even if it was the little mop-up duty, and we get in. I had 4 sacks as a freshman, and I think Bryan had around there. So we used to come in and say, you know what, we want to, even if it's mop-up duty, we're going to get our little number so we could jump the Big V them and Jamal in. You know?
That's right. That's right.
That's awesome, man. So like you said, you had those moments, man. So as you go through this, right, and you think about, you kind of reflect back on those deals, man. Was it something that he has ever said to you in a tough moment when games were down? Just something that was like inspirational, like, you know, sometimes like people can do things, right? I would never forget this, and I don't know if you remember this. I know you were already at Miami at the time. But I will never forget this when we were at the state championship game and Edgewater scored and Nigel laid on the ground. And I saw Antoine Barnes pick him up by his face mask. I don't know if you remember that clip, but they on the ground. We still could win the game, but he picked him up. And I thought that was so big, picking your teammate up, saying, nah, dog, it ain't over, when he was ready to lay down. I said that to make a comparison or a parallel to say, is there anything, or has there been any of those moments, whether it was on the field, in the weight room, after a practice, that he had a memorable quote or something that he would always say, or he said to you in times of adversity?
You know what's funny? And I think anybody that knows Bryan could attest to this. It was almost like a tough love kind of thing. It wasn't no, Cole, you know that. All 4 of us, we grown men. We ain't with that patting on the back, dog. It's like, hey, man, get your ish together and let's rock. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I know y'all remember this. When we played West Virginia, down here, when Brandon got trucked and all that other stuff, Swayze he mudded us. He ran us into the ground. Because you know, after the game, we do our little, post game conditioning, get the lactic acid out and all that other stuff. Man, we ran like 20. I want to say about 27, 28, 200s. He killed us.
Woo!
I ain't gonna mention the player name. I don't want to put him out there, but somebody wanted to quit. Cause they like, yo, this is ridiculous. This borderline child abuse. You know what I'm saying? And, Bryan,
hey, he would have. Never mind. I ain't gonna say that. Never mind.
Bryan, and I'm gonna be tactful on my choice of words, but he was like, you ain't quitting. So y'all know, you know how that went.
Sure enough.
It was a tough love kind of situation where he's like, hey, you know, our expectation level is here. So for us to play right here or let anybody even come close to us, we ain't living up to the you. And that's what he was like. That's the kind of presence he brought to the locker room, to the practice field, to game day. And he was tough, but it all made us elevate our game.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So if you guys got anything else or anything else you want to share, KB, you more than welcome. If you want to stay with us, you more than welcome, man. We're going to ride on this deal. If you guys got any more questions, you more than welcome to go ahead and spit them out.
I got a question, man. I've been following you for a while. I follow you on Instagram, especially a time when you was coaching at the U. Being that you were on the team where we were dominant for the year, because a lot of people get it mixed and skewed that the only good year at Miami was from 01 to 02. They don't understand that from to about at least I say 2009. That's when you start to see the transition where we started losing more games than we should. What do you think, being on the staff, what was the biggest difference? Without trying to get it throwing anybody on the bus, what was the biggest difference? And what do you feel is going to take for UM to get back to that from your time as a player and as a coach at UM?
Now, we talking straight up facts. This ain't gonna be no excuse making. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. First of all, generationally, these kids are softer. I'm just being 1,000%
Yeah, I could agree.
We all can agree with that. We talked about
I can agree with that.
No, I remember, and I don't even think he'll mind saying this. Coach Hurt used to punch us in the stomach. Like, hey, get right now. You do that now, you won't be on Channel 7 News. Locked up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like but at the end of the day, we knew the coaches loved us and we played for them. You know, I think it's a lot of distractions now with social media being the way it is. It's not an excuse, but this is the reality of the times that we living in.
Yes.
Right?
No, fact. Fact.
One, recruits if there's more exposure now. So these recruits from Dade County, they going to doggone Oregon, they going to USC. That was unheard of back then. The farthest trip I took was to Oklahoma, and when I got off the plane and that thing was like -10, I'm like, yeah, I ain't coming here. Y'all can show me everything you want. Well, I ain't coming here. You know, but these are starting to branch out now, and they're going to different schools. You know, which is good for them, but it's bad for us. It's bad for the youth. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a culmination of things, man, that essentially decreased the talent level on the team, but that's not an excuse. We still have enough talent to be able to beat some of the teams that we was losing to. I was talking about this. I was on with Brian Monroe on his show the other day, and I was saying it pisses me off that I feel like my junior and senior year, when we had top 5 defenses in the country, our offense was 119th. And then when I graduated, Ja'Cory them came in. Ja'Cory them scoring 40, 50 points a game, but they couldn't stop a nosebleed on defense. I said, damn, the team just missed each other.
Right.
Like, God, you know what I'm saying? Like, what if our defense would have been with Ja'Cory them offense? You know what I'm saying? We've always had the talent. We just weren't able to put it together at the same time. And I do think at one point in time, like, again, not throwing nobody under the bus, but we lacked, and I'm being PC, we lacked some coaching in some areas. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it like that. But I do think that played a part in the dissension of the program ultimately.
So
I got a question.
Okay, my bad. Go ahead. Ask your question, bro.
I got a question for you, Mr. KB. What made you ultimately choose to be a part of this the greatest university of all time? What made you want to be a Hurricane?
It was a no-brainer. You saw the culture, you saw the swag. We weren't even winning. We were dominating teams. And it was the hit you in the mouth and look at you, and that's what type of player I am, you know, and I knew that I would fit into that culture. You know, I went to Florida, it didn't feel the same. I ain't even visit Florida State. They couldn't even get me on the phone because I grew up in a UM household, you know, but it was the overall culture that was a no-brainer for me. That was like, I want to be a part of that. And I think that's what drags a lot of these kids in, is when they see that they can relate to the players, they can relate to the coaches. Because remember, when I went there, you had Coach Shannon, that was from Dade County, played at Miami. Coach Hurt, who played at Miami. Yep. Coach Mark, that played at Miami. With Coach Kehoe had been there for 30 years. Donnie Solinger had been there. So you had people that understood the culture, understood the kid. Everybody don't understand Dade County kids now. That's why you see them going to Utah and them getting kicked out, them going to other schools and them getting kicked out, because everybody know how to handle this Dade County pit bull. Miami coaches at the time, they knew how to handle it.
That's real. I'm gonna say this because I gotta push this forward. But I gotta push this forward because we actually talked a lot about this, guys. Because KB was on before, we talked about a lot of this stuff. But I'm gonna push it forward because if not, no, you fine, man, you fine. I just want to say, because if not, that's how we end up on a 10-hour show. Trust me, and we gonna have one. Listen, we having one. Great segue. The Coach Hayes YouTube takeover is happening September 2nd, the Thursday before the game. An 8-hour show from 4 o'clock to midnight. KB, check me out. We riding out on this thing. I'm doing a whole shift, baby, and I ain't getting out the chair. If I got to go to the bathroom, I'm just gonna be quiet. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't getting out the chair. We finna make this thing ride.
Oh man.
Hey, I got my Kane shirt on there right there. Go Kane. Alabama sucks. You see that? Got that thing in the building, as well as Last time I checked, we only have 4 spots left on our college fantasy football draft. So if you want to do that, go to CoachHayesFootball.com. It's the first thing you'll see. Jump on in a $25 donation. It can get you a $200 refund. You understand what I'm saying? If you win it, and you'll get a $50 consultation prize. You know what I'm saying? For losing in the championship. I'll leave it to you like that. All right. So with all that being said, I want to jump into this, but I got to give 2 things of love, and we're going to push this thing forward. And like I said, KB, you're more than welcome to stay with us. Big shout out to Miami Flow in the building. Says, great panel, coach. Make sure Big Groove don't fall asleep in this show. I love y'all boys for the $9.99.
Bro. Hey, man.
Hold on. As well as Hurricane T2Y, he got a show as well. $5 donation. He said this is epic. Y'all make sure y'all go check them guys out. And Miami Flow coming on tonight right at 8:30. Let me give these boys they love, and we're going to jump to the next section. All right, let's get this thing rolling. So here we go. We done lost KB in the building. He back. All right, so here we go. Real quick, man. Everybody out here having a good time. Y'all know this dude. I know you know this dude right here. Man, that's Chris Forbes in the building, man. Big shout out to Chris Forbes. He was on the show last week or the week before. That was our running back, man, from the state. Yeah, man. He got a catering company in Utah called Miami Bites, dog. That's what I'm trying to tell you, dog. The crib everywhere. In Utah? In Utah, I believe that.
Hey, Coach Hayes, with that alliance, hey, we may be in Utah with that alliance now.
You know what I'm saying? We might be playing up for a district championship around here. But anyway, for a conference championship. So anyway, let's jump into this piece right here. It really wasn't part of the show, but it is because it's just kind of breaking news. Avante Williams, right? I'm gonna say this. I've always said this, and I know people may feel different, but I've been around a long time. And actually, Kareem was one of my KB was one of my first players I ever coached in high school. Right, came out in 2000. I've always said this on this show: when the recruiting part goes in, and I understand that that's part of recruiting, that's part of salesmanship. But they start talking about it feels like family. Now, if you guys saw the show I did this earlier today with Brandon Enos, he was like, oh, it feels like family. It feels like family. I'm always weary of that, and I'm going to tell you why. It is about family, but it's about the coaching family. Now, I'm not saying there aren't bonds that are made within that, but we're talking about as a whole, all right? And we're talking about protecting young men or at least having their backs all the way around the board. Let me explain this quickly before everybody jump on my back down the throat of the comment channel. I see so many players get released because they didn't pan out athletically, but when they were recruiting you, it's family. I see players nowhere in the world at these Power 5 programs with the amount of money and resources they have, kids are failing out of school. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like that should not be a reason you leaving. You should get him out the door before he actually fails out. Because if he fails out under your watch, that's not a good look on you. That means you failed that kid. I'm just being honest. Now, that doesn't mean every kid has the aptitude to do it, and some kids just can't do it. I understand that. But with all the resources you have, I guarantee the kid, I guarantee the star player won't ever fail out. If De'Aaron King had a problem, I bet he won't fail out. They gave him some Mr. Miyagi juice to get his knee back right. To get him ready for Alabama. I'm just being honest. And got him back. He healed faster than T.O. with an isobaric chamber and anybody else who blew their knee out. Am I right or wrong?
Nah, you're right.
What I'm trying to say is family matters when you matter. And so that the equation to that is it's business. And that's what I want these players to always understand. It is always going to be business. Now, that doesn't mean you're not going to form relationships. I guarantee, KB, you formed a relationship maybe with Coach Hurt, and y'all got whatever. But I'm talking about as a whole, it's business. You are employee number 6, you're employee number 99, you're employee number 5, whatever it is. As long as Janet Jackson say, for you older cats, what have you done for me lately? And that's where we are. Now, I'm saying all that to say this about Avante Williams, and I'm going to let y'all have the floor. When Avante Williams was accused, and this is the problem, not just at Miami, this is everywhere in society as a whole.
Yep.
It is in reverse. Everybody is guilty till proven innocent, not innocent till proven guilty. And I'm not saying he did or didn't do the things, but here's my deal. You kick a dude off a team. His career is pretty much shattered at this point, or he already has a negative stigma on him, right? He's already tagged with the wife beater, right? He's tagged as that, whether he did it or not, because it's all over the news. Because all you heard was, he beating up his pregnant girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And now all of a sudden, the charges are dropped. And now this kid and his family left to pick up the pieces. And what happens? Now, I can respect Miami or any other institution if they say, we're going to suspend Avante Williams indefinitely until we can figure out what's going on. But just to boot him off the team right away, guess what you're doing? You're making a business decision, family. And I'm not talking about just Miami. All programs do this. And that's my issue about it. So I'm just saying, at the end of the day, now everybody want to have him back. But how does that kid feel when it was one way, you thought it was one thing, y'all put your foot in my behind out the door. Now all of a sudden everybody want to hashtag Avante Williams back. I understand that from a fan's perspective, but I'm talking about from the institution's perspective. That's why I tell people about family. Now, if y'all tell me, hey, something happened and we suspend you indefinitely and whatever until we can find out what's what or what are the charges going to be or this, that, and the other, that's one thing. Now that charges get dropped, he's innocent, right? He has no record, does he? He's only been accused. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
So I said all that. Everybody talking about preach. I hear you. So Mr. Fresh 3542. We talking about Avante Williams, man. So with all that being said, anybody else want to jump in on that?
I got something to say on that. When it happened, I'm one of them people. I don't speak on other people's situations. I don't speak on grown men's situations that don't have nothing to do with me. I know how it is to be, you know what I'm saying, automatically said you're guilty of something that you know you didn't do. And I think, and that is a problem with the fan base. Everybody automatically assumed that the kid was guilty. And I was pushing this, pumping this. Hey, I was going to bat for the kid. Just say, hey, we don't know what happened. Don't stop speculating. Stop judging the kid. We don't know the entire story. I'm not saying that he's innocent or guilty, but until we get those court docs and all this, because it's public record, you know what I'm saying? Don't judge the kid. And I kind of disagree with a little bit you said earlier, because we don't know if it was the institution, the University of Miami, that kicked him out of school, and Manny had no control over that. I don't know also don't know what conversation Manny had with the kid. You know what I'm saying? If he said, "Hey, we riding with you. Whenever the situation gets together, okay, we'll bring you back." I don't know the underlying issue, so I really don't have a comment on that aspect of it.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I just want the fan base and others to kind of take a step back and look at the situation, because people saying the state is going to take over the case and this, that, and the third. He ain't out the woods. Actually, the state took over the case and dropped the charges.
Yep.
So people saying now, well, he could bring him back and suspend him for a few games. So why are you suspending him if he was let out scot-free? He didn't do anything. You know what I'm saying?
He didn't do anything.
KB, go ahead.
So this is what I'm gonna say. And just to piggyback a little bit off what you said, Coach, is family when is 85 and sunny. You know what I'm saying?
When it's convenient.
It's business when it's not. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say that being on both sides of the spectrum as a coach and a player, and this is not an indictment on that young man. This is general across the board. In sports, in life, people are only going to tolerate as much as you bring value. So if you're De'Aaron King or let's use KD, you could be toxic. But when you the 15th man on the bench, you can't be toxic.
Facts.
But fair is fair now. That's kind of universal, and I just know that to be true. In sports. And I'm not going to speak too much because I don't know all the details, but I do know that from what I heard from a reliable source, that pretty much this was the straw that broke the camel's back. So there had to been, which I don't know what they were, previous incidences involving this young man, maybe not to this magnitude, but it wasn't a shock to them when it happened. And this was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. So I don't know what happened previously. Obviously, I'm not there, but I know that this wasn't the first time that they had spoken to this young man about his behavior. And that's the way I'm doing.
I like it. Ablakk, talk to it, Ablakk.
Yeah, so it's funny because me and Groove, when it first happened, we spoke offline, and we even said, look, when we do our show, we not even gonna touch it because all the facts aren't out. We don't know what really transpired. We don't know what happened. We weren't there. It could be he say, she say. He could have done it. He could have been, self-defense. We don't know. We ain't gonna touch it until it come out. Now that it's come out, all the charges is dropped. Means he's innocent. He don't got no record. He don't have a record for a year. Then it gets annulled. He's scot-free. So to what y'all was saying, if he is allowed back on the team, why are you gonna suspend him? For what? In the eyes of the court, in the justice system.
Double jeopardy. Yeah.
Right. In the justice system, he didn't do anything wrong. But
also, and then that kind of sends a messed up message far in recruiting aspect too. You got parents, you got kids looking at kids are looking at how Manny is gonna
handle the situation,
and players also that's on the team. You know what I'm saying?
But because also,
just like we know Pryor, the kid from Baylor, the defensive end that got accused of rape. You know what I'm saying? And it took a year to, and come to find out the girl lied on him. And he lost his chance he was supposed to be projected as a first-round draft pick. So
he lost millions of dollars
and can't get a look nowhere because of that stigma.
And my thing is nothing happens to the false accuser.
Yeah,
and the thing is, they still, and that's my only issue. And I'm not saying the young lady lied. He may have went in there and did whatever. But at the end of the day, we can't hold people accountable because of what we think. Right. And if there was evidence, regardless if the young lady decided to testify, whatever, and like I said, it wasn't there. But if they decide to drop the case, then how am I going to punish you for something that even the people that you're criminally charged with can't punish you with?
Right.
That's all I'm asking. You know what I mean? And so I understand it. And KB and Groove, y'all make very valid points. You know what I mean? About what you're saying. KB, you bring up a very valid point about there are other incidents that may have happened, right? But I just feel like when it's big like that, even though there are other incidents, because the optics, back to what you said, recruiting, now it looks like people turn their back on you because people don't know the underlying things. You understand? Now, whatever the case may be, we can handle it. But to me, it looks like even though that happened, or did it happen, it's just an accusation. See, you punishing me, you holding me accountable for things I may have done. Maybe coming late to practice. Maybe I did get into it with it before and campus police got involved, but it wasn't that magnitude. Maybe it was just some domestic fussing, whatever the case may be. Now, the deal is now, before it does get that big, you have to ask yourself, we need to start saying, if you see that kind of pattern, what kind of help does it, talking to don't mean much now. Now we need to start implementing tools to get this guy better so these things don't happen down the line, which they still can happen, right? If he got an issue with anger violence, you better get and they got the resources for it. You better get some cats up in there.
Can I say something, Coach? Sure. On that, I know KB, you spoke on brotherhood and how tight you guys were back in the day. And the first thing I thought about when it happened, I'm like, where's homeboy at? Where's partners at? You know what I'm saying? Where's teammates at? Wasn't no teammate, you know what I'm saying? Because usually I'm pretty sure you and Pata was probably together all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking like, bro, going forward, I would have him with somebody that like a De'Aaron King. I know he's not going to be there for long. You got to match him up. If he got some type of anger issues or some type of, because everybody comes from different households. He probably don't know how to, control his anger. You know what I'm saying? He even may have, just different backgrounds. So my thing is this, if, going forward, they do allow him on the team. If he does have some of these underlying issues that we talked about as far as the anger, I hope and pray that they put him with someone, with some type of guidance. I hate to bring up the University of Florida because I hate them so much. Just kind of like when they did with Tebow and Aaron Hernandez when he got there. They matched him up with, Aaron, because he was kind of a loose cannon. You know what I'm saying? You really didn't hear, you heard the incidents with him, but I just thought it was a great deal to kind of match those two to kind of keep them on the straight and air for for moving forward if they do allow him to come back. I don't see no reason why they wouldn't bring him back. But hey, I'm not the coach or the minister.
It's like a mentoring thing. Like at the high school my son is going to, he's going into his freshman year. Archbishop Carroll here in Washington, D.C., John Thompson, the great late John Thompson, head coach for Georgetown basketball, he graduated from their high school. And what they do for incoming freshmen, they pair them with an upperclassman, like a senior. Like, have that big brother type to show them the ropes, you know what I mean? To give them that guidance and things of that nature. And when you get to that level, Power 5 or just college football, the young men got to understand it is a business right now. And everything you do, whether how small it is going to be magnified. And they got to understand it's a business. And every time you get in trouble, you losing $1 million here, $10 million here. Your draft stock is falling. It's falling. So and I tell my sons that right now. I tell them, high school, it's a business. I said, because those coaches are going to use you to get them where they want to be. Some coaches got aspirations of being coordinators at college. So you got to use them to get to where you want to go. You take care of your business in the classroom. The field will take care of itself, but no, it's a business, and don't do anything that's going to embarrass the school, and most importantly, that's going to embarrass that name that I gave you. Because if that's the case, now you got to deal with me. And I tell my sons that. I tell them, when you go to college, I said, if the coach called me and say, look, we got a situation, hey, say no more. I said, just know I'm on the first plane to wherever you are, and I'm walking on the field, and I'm handling you. I said, my sons know, they know you. If you ever talk to them, if they were on the show, Coach Hayes, and you ask them, what does your father say if you go to college and he get a call from the coach? What they gonna tell you? My dad said he on the first thing to that school, he walking out on the field and he handling me, and ain't nothing the coach or nobody could say. Like, cause you're not gonna embarrass me, bro. You're not gonna do that. I put too much into you with morals for you not to know from right from wrong, what to do and what not to do.
That's real talk. Let me flip this right quick. We got a donation from Taz Haitian Canes, $5. He says, Coach Hayes, the reason Miami Hurricanes did that because they didn't want NCAA to get involved and get the case.
I mean,
here's my understanding. Maybe please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not an NCAA rule violation guru by no means. But why would they get involved?
Yeah.
Because I suspended him indefinitely. I just didn't turn my back on him. All I'm just trying to say is he's off the team, but what is a difference in semantics, right? Let's be honest. When you start, you know what I mean? Like, you forgot to wash the dishes. Your mama say, get out the house versus you know what I'm saying? Like, right. 0 to 100 right now, or you know what I mean? Or that. So I don't understand that. Maybe I don't. Maybe you guys have some insight on that. I don't understand why would the NCAA get involved if the police already involved in it? It's not like it was a school function or a school related incident. It was something really, away from the program. The school he had been arrested. He had been, I guess, charged or whatever, and arraigned or whatever the case may be. And it was what it was. But I'm just talking about the optics of turning our back. But I want to flip this too, because we've been busting the university. And I like to keep things, as the kids say, 100. These players got to start taking accountability for the actions too.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
Here's the flip. So here's the flip. I like to get both sides of the coin now. It ain't just the university I'm after. These shorties, and somebody here said it earlier, I can't remember who. And I tell players all the time, if you want to do regular people-ish, go be a regular person.
Yep.
Just that simple. Comes that helmet. When you put that helmet on, you dribble that ball, you hit the tennis racket, whatever it is, swing that bat, you automatically become a role model, and you automatically become a target for clicks and bait. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. So now you have to be aware. You can't the day of the jock where he could just walk around and do what he want to do, them days done, boy. This right here, a killer, boy.
Especially with that new NIL stuff too, because you killing yourself on people sponsoring you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate to say it, wherever he go, even though he's innocent, he's been proven innocent. That stigma still is going to follow him, which is sad. So you gotta cost yourself, because you know what I'm saying. Because you know it's going to be the people that have the backlash. Oh, why are you doing this? And he was accused of that, this and that, and the third. And these kids really have to think. I remember a few years back, I seen a kid, man, online. He was on UM. I told him kept posting a lot of females. I said, bro, sign up, get you a waiver, make him sign a waiver, because you know what I'm saying. The first thing they want to do is say that you did something to him, and he got upset with me. Chill, bro, stop posting. You know what I'm saying. I'm like, bro, I'm trying to give you the game. I've seen it happen before.
Hey, Groove. Hey, I got a story to tell y'all. I don't want to say it because I don't think it's.
Let me lay back. This is gonna be a good one.
Hey, look. I'm gonna try to be as PC as possible with this. Check it out, and it speaks exactly what you're saying to Groove. I tell my sons this all the time, man. I talk. You know, I've been having real conversations with my sons. Since they was like 4 years old, but especially since they teenagers. And I tell them, when you go to college, I'm like, look, man. I like sometimes, and I said, if you a big time player, I said, look, man, we have to draw up some type of consent that she consent to have relations with you and have her sign it. I said, have her sign it and record her and send it to me. I said, because real talk, I said, yo, we're not gonna have, you know, you just happen as a freshman, and you know, hopefully, you know, you never know, but you go first round, then all of a sudden draft day is allegations that you sexually assaulted some girl 4 years ago. Then I'm like, hold on. Now here's the contract, here's the video. Like, yo, I know it's wild, and I know the people in the chat that's watching, it's like, man, is it that serious? Yes, it's really that serious. Because how many times have athletes been accused of that? And we just talked about the Baylor guy, and it never happened. And now he can't get his opportunity to go to the league and provide for his family. So these are real life lessons that I tell my sons every day, man. So like when that day come, you want to see a grown man cry. That's when, you know, I'll probably cry when they go to college. But I don't have to give them no 30 minutes, no 10-minute speech, because I gave it to them their whole life. So when they leave me, I feel good that I provided them with all the necessary skills to handle this real world. Of course, I can't guard them from everything. Some things they're gonna have to learn on their own. But don't put yourself in any situation that you don't need to be in.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm gonna be on the last piece because we got to move on.
Hey, if anybody ever try to
sounds great, but it's hard. It's hard.
If they ever try to ask you if it's that serious, just tell them Google Deshaun Watson.
Exactly.
Right.
I did a whole show on Deshaun Watson, right? I did a whole show probably about 2 months ago when the whole thing broke, man. And that's hilarious. Like what you walk, like I get, you know, they used to say Michael Jordan used to do that. You know what I mean? Walk around with NDAs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But again, that's Michael Jordan. I don't know if he was doing that at North Carolina, though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When he became Michael Jordan, then, you know, his homeboy, like, hey, sign this right quick. You know what I mean? It's different. But I'm telling you, I always said this. You ever said on Deshaun, on the, what you call this show? If anybody take my idea, I already got it's recorded. Today's date is August 22nd, 2021 at 7:30 p.m. I said on the show before, I'm making an app. All they gotta do is put their thumbprint on it. Boop. That's their signature. Right there. Take a scan of their thumbprint. They signed it. Let's get it on. Play some Marvin Gaye, some Luther Vandross.
Hey, look. Hey, Coach, I ain't mad at you because once that app come out and be like, hey, I'm gonna tell my sons, hey man, Coach Hayes got this app for women to consent with their thumbprint. Make sure you download that on your phone, and if you can screenshot it, send it to me and your mom. So yeah, just in case your phone breaks.
I got it in the database, dog. I got it in the cloud. Don't worry about it. I got you.
There we go. We good. We good money.
Hey, but it costs $50,000 to get it out of there just in case you need it. Just insurance.
Hey, look. If he make it to the spot, then you good.
I'm just teasing, man. Hey, but real quick, KB, you got anything to say about that? I'm gonna push forward because these people. Can we stop talking about one person? The Alabama fan. Can we stop talking about one person? Can we talk football?
Man, tell them Alabama fans to go
stump on Alabama, man. Tell them to hold their horses, man.
Yeah, man. Tell them to go chew some tobacco or something.
Let's go, KB. Talk about it, man. I love it. I love setting it up. Go ahead, KB. Anything you want to, from a player's perspective or whatever?
We still on the Avante situation?
Yeah, I know, because when I said no, I was talking about the players themselves taking accountability for their actions. What I'm saying is that we have to now start taking. We got on the institution side of it about them being accountable and being, for these players. Now the players have to also take accountability for the action. If you want to speak to that at any point,
I agree with that wholeheartedly. I'm not going to belabor that point. At some point, coming in as an 18-year-old, 17-year-old freshman, evolving every year, they have to develop some kind of accountability. But also, and it's sad to say, but I also know that the university in itself, they want to save face. That's the easy decision, is to cut ties. That way, we don't got no explaining to do because we're not involved in it anymore. And it's sad, but that's the harsh, easy decision for the university to make.
Business, man. So let's jump into it. We're going to talk about the Alabama game. So we come back, got to give him Taz Haitian, his love for that donation. Appreciate you. All right, here we go. You see it up there. Alabama, you got 12 days, 19 hours, 55 minutes, and 50, 49, 48 seconds before we put our foot in y'all behind.
They on the clock. They on the clock, coach. They on the clock.
It's on the clock. It's rolling. You see that?
Yes, sir.
It stay up there. I have not taken it down. It's been up there since it was 60-something days left. And it's been counting down ever since then. The game is in Atlanta, as we know. Neutral site, I guess you want to say. I guess that's pretty neutral, I guess you want to call it. I guess Alabama geographically may be a little bit closer. But I don't know if they can afford the tickets to get in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm just teasing. But anyway, man, I'm going to be in the building. I don't know if any of you guys going to be in the building, but I'll be in the building. I'll be in the nosebleed. So, look, we all going to have to get up, man. I'll be there Friday. If anybody else around, we'll be there Friday. Maybe put something else out. Oh, you did send me the thing. Yes,
yeah, you check, at the battery. I'll be there. We got to link up, man.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll check all that. We'll check all that stuff out. Let me go. I'm gonna start off with you, KB, from a player's perspective. Big time game. What game did you guys have first game of the season that maybe was of this magnitude? Because sometimes, or typically, teams don't start off with really large games like this. They may start off with a smaller, like I know sometimes you guys would have played Savannah State or those kind of teams, kind of. It's on the record, but it's a preseason type game. What game did you guys play? What game was that would be to the same magnitude?
Man, them 2 years they trapped us with them stupid Florida State games on Labor Day.
Mm-hmm.
So the games they were good games. They were defensive games, But in terms of being the first game of the season, both teams weren't clicking on all cylinders at that point.
Mm-hmm. So. This being this right here, I'm gonna go to you, Ablakk. This game right here, the Alabama game, like I said, it's a big game. We already know what Alabama has so far as what they've done over the past 10 years, the Nick Saban era, in essence. Manny Diaz is now year 4, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
he's in year 3. Sorry, year 3. All right, what has to happen? Because this is kind of a preview to the Coach Hayes YouTube takeover, man. So we kind of getting into it a little bit, man. 8 hours of straight getting it. So what do you think right now? What is the biggest feat? If you had to find one thing, what's the biggest thing that the Hurricanes need to do in order to bring home this W against the Crimson Tide?
We got to establish. We got to control the trenches, the offensive line, the offense. Okay, I'm sorry, the trenches.
All right, the trenches. Use smooth groove. What do you think it is we need?
We need to stop. We need to be able to stop the run. We need to be able to make them have to throw the ball to beat us. We can't let them establish the run game.
KB,
I think we need to start fast. And I know that's cliche, but I think from a mentality standpoint, a mental standpoint, we can't fall behind quickly because I think it'll be a dumpster fire if that happens. I think we need to start fast and establish a tempo.
I love it. So I'm gonna go back to you, Black. You said we got excuse me, we got to control the trenches, Black. Excuse me.
Right.
How do we control the trenches? Because now I'm looking at 3 different perspectives here, right? That's why I asked the question the way I did. You want to control the trenches, which probably would take some running game.
Exactly.
KB want to start fast. That's probably a mix up of air and probably some shots downfield and whatever. And Groove, he said we got to stop the run. So, Black, how do we establish the trenches? How do we get the trenches going? How does that work?
Them boys up front, they gotta mow the lawn on offense. They gotta be able to move Bama's D tackles. They gotta reestablish the line of scrimmage, make a new line of scrimmage to get that run game going. We get the run game going, then what KB said, we'll be able to play fast because then that'll give Rhett Lashley more options to open up the playbook, get the passing game going, and things of that nature. But we gotta establish that run game. And even if we want to establish the pass game, we got to be able to neutralize their pass rush. That's still part of controlling the trenches. To give Derek King time to survey the field and hit them cats that can take the top off the defense with Harley, Rambo, Keyshawn, Pope, X working underneath. But yeah. So
let me ask you a question then. Everybody's Rhett Lashley, right? The second coming right here of offensive coordinators. But is his offense gear? And I'm not knocking, I'm not saying that, I'm just talking off. A lot of fans talk that way. Right. But based on what you just said, is Rhett Lashley's offense geared to mowing some grass?
Yeah, he runs a power spread. And if you watched his offenses at Auburn and SMU, he's used to having 1,100-yard backs or using 2 big backs and things of that nature. So I think it's definitely geared to mowing some grass, mowing some lawn. Because he got some people movers. They just, Hope Justice got them boys ready to move some people.
I'm only say this because when I looked last year, and I know everybody talk about it was a COVID year and yada, 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 and I get it. Yeah, I sure saw a lot of scooting, hipping, bump off, go, go, go. I ain't see a lot of double teams at point of attack. Right. I didn't even see a lot of pulling. I didn't see a lot of gap scheme plays. I see a lot of zone, inside zone, outside zone, space blocking, right? Getting in the way. Yeah, I don't see people doubling at the point of attack, taking this 3 technique and putting him in the lap of the linebacker so he get caught up in the wash. That's my point. Anybody, KB, you want to speak to that? You played in the trenches.
All right, so I want to clarify what I meant by start fast. And it's my fault. When I say start fast, I mean because you know how sometimes in big games the coordinators will come out timid. They running the ball right here. They doing this right, and that doesn't allow for the quarterback and the line and the trenches for everybody to establish that rhythm and get in that rhythm. Also, a part of that is limiting our mistakes and turnovers. I think that's going to be huge. This is not a game for us where we can go in and have those blunders where we have fumbles or drop passes. We can't have that stuff. We have to establish ourselves from the get-go and take advantage of all the opportunities that come our way.
I love it. Now, Groove, talk to me in regards to, you said stopping the run. There's been a lot of issues with that. I always say it. I love peeling the scab off because I believe it lets people always know that they were hurt. You know what I mean? And somebody said in the chat, let's go back to the UNC game. Why is it that, and I don't think Alabama's going to do this, but they will because they're not stupid. Why not go look at that game and see what's what? Why not look at that game and say, let me take a page out of this dude book?
With that, if you really watch that game and the plays was there to be made, we hit the guy in the backfield numerous times, and they just didn't make the tackle. A lot of those big runs, he was hitting the backfield. They caused disruption. They just didn't make the play, and it was just one of those games. With me, when I say about stopping the run, the offensive line, defensive line got to get penetration, and that's going to take Nestor and Ford to be able to shoot some gaps and don't let these backs get going because Alabama like to attack the edge, to do a lot of zone, and those linebackers we have to fill properly, not overshoot and get washed, get caught in the wash, and then allow these guys for cutbacks. And the defensive backs, I have no issues with the defensive backs as far as coming up wanting to hit. They just have to make that one-on-one tackle because they're going to try to do a lot of screens and, pretty much it's like a toss play. They're going to try to do the little flare routes with the running backs. But we just got to be sure tackling and getting penetration early to kind of set the tone on that. And then you make the freshman have to beat you with his arm. And that's when the exotic blitzes that Manning like to do. And that's when that's going to come into effect now because, they got to spread it out a little bit more. And it allows us to take advantage of their big tackles. They got big tackles, but they're slow-footed. Neal, he's a great offensive tackle, but he got cement feet, being real. It's a reason why he started at tackle and then they moved him on the inside because he was getting beat a lot when he first got there. And then he kept that position at guard until the other guy. They switched to right guard last year, right tackle. They didn't put him on the, see what I'm saying? He didn't beat out Leatherwood or whatever the kid name was that was there. I just think that, like I said before, we just got to make sure we get that good penetration and stop him in the backfield.
So here's what I want to say in regards to what you were talking about the running game, because I'm gonna just say this, and I look at things always from a coach. That's how I look at the game, or just I guess from training. UNC exposed what I felt was already there. Other people just didn't do it. So, for example, you go back and look at the UAB game. They were doing the same thing. They just didn't have the dogs to turn that thing over for 500 yards. You go look at Louisville, the little short dude from Coco, number 41. Yeah.
Yeah, number 10, right?
Yeah, Hawkins.
You're doing the same exact thing. We just got super exposed against USC, and they turn that gas all the way on high. But they were doing the same exact things. What I'm saying, we never fixed it. A lot of it came to do with leveraging the ball, understand how to leverage the ball. So I hope bringing in T-Rob and those guys, because a lot of people don't understand in defense. A lot of people don't understand this about defense. They think it's the front seven that stops the run, but it's not. Not the linebackers. It's the safeties who solidify the run game. People don't realize this. People think safety and they think passing. Safeties are 100% part of the run game as much as a linebacker is. Very much so. When you are a defensive coordinator, you putting your game plan together, you better find out how you can get 8 and 9 in the box. You better find out real quick how you get a late 9 into the box, because if not, you're going to be outnumbered. This is how offenses start winning. They start taking you out the box, widen you out, widen everybody else out. Now they make this game is all about numbers. How can I get one more guy than you have? That's it. How can I get? That's why you got the pulling game. Okay, it's 3-on-3 over here. Well, I'm gonna bring this guy around now. It's 4-on-3.
Yep.
That's football.
Yep.
That's football. And now with the quarterback, defenses kind of used to be at an advantage because we had 11 against 10 technically, right? Now it's true 11-on-11 ball now.
Yeah,
because the quarterbacks, they got their feet. So that's all I wanted to say, that the safeties, if you look at it, a lot of times when plays broke, safeties were out of position. Nobody was there to force the ball back inside. Either the linebacker didn't force it back to the safety that's reducing down, or vice versa, however that is. KB, you had a point?
So let me say this, Coach, because I gotta go. But I'm sorry if I'm jumping ahead. But I think the keys to the game are gonna be obviously their new quarterback. Their quarterback is new. We return a lot of people, and we have even some 6-year guys. I think they only return maybe 4 or 5 starters from last year or something like that. All right, so I think we have an advantage in that aspect of the game. Adjustments to what you were just speaking on. Adjustments is going to be huge. If we can't, and this is I'm being realistic. Let's not be blinded fans now, right? I'm being realistic. Right. If we cannot match up with them in the trenches, we have to make adjustments to help De'Eric out. Move the pockets, or sprints, rollouts, waggles. Don't let him be a sitting duck back there in the target and get the brakes beat off of him coming off that surgery. So I think that's a part of the game. And also, like I said, being opportunistic. If they make a mistake, make them pay for it, right? Limit the mistakes that we have. Now, this is football 101, but at the same time, these are things that we have to do, right? I almost feel like we're going to have to play a perfect game to make this thing the outcome that we all want to see. You know what I'm saying? But those are my little tidbits to the game, man. But Coach, I appreciate y'all having me on, man.
Anytime, man. You know, I appreciate you, man. We'll be chopping it up, man. Love you, bro. And we'll definitely be getting up, man. And we're going to finish this thing out here. We got 253 in the chat. Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. KB, you more than welcome, man. You dip out, and we'll talk, man.
Be safe, bro.
Be safe, champ. Take care, man.
100. Appreciate it.
All right, now. So, got my man. So, he talked about it. He actually led us into a perfect piece, man. So, we know because we about to wrap this deal up here in a few, but I know we're going to chop it up. I said I was going to open the phone lines, but yeah. So he's talked about what we have to do. I want to kind of break this down a little bit, just generally offensively, and then we'll talk defensively. Offensively, I'll start with you, Ablakk. What do you think, just overall, just from a philosophical standpoint, what do you think the Canes have to do to take this W to the crib?
Limit the turnovers, of course, and make Alabama cover the whole field. Spread them out, make them cover the whole field, you know, use our athleticism, our speed, you know, to create mismatches. We got to create mismatches because their secondary is young. You know, they lost their best corner, you know, last year. Joe, he's okay, but he's not really a threat to me. But take advantage of that. You know, spread the whole field, make them cover the whole field, create mismatches in the secondary on our wide receivers, and get that running game going.
All right, Groove, do you agree with that? You want to add something to it, take something away? You disagree?
I want to I agree exactly what he said. I just want to add a few things. I've been studying a lot of the games that gave them trouble. And what I think that we can do from a schematic standpoint, I think we have to motion. We have to come out in different sets. We have to make their defense adjust that 3-4. We have to make them think and adjust on the fly. You know, so we may come out especially with the no huddle. We can come out in one set, switch it to another set, make them have to judge and catch them making a mistake. It's a guessing game. If you go back and watch that Clemson game when they lost to them in the championship 40, I think it was like 44-16, Clemson did a very good thing of confusing that secondary. We're coming out with different formations and pretty much running the same play, but motion here, hitting a lot of running backs out the backfield. You know, you got to take advantage of that. We got fast guys, and I don't think their linebacker is going to be able to keep up with. So I think what we should do is we come out in different sets, show them a different look, you know what I'm saying, and create. And one thing about Rhett Lashler, he's great at scheming people open. So we have to take that to our advantage because, like I said, he's played against Alabama for, you know what I'm saying, a lot of years. They've won some games, and, you know, of course, they kept some close games and losses. So I know he knows some pros and cons about playing them. But the main thing like I said, offensively, we have to take deep shots, make them respect us early. And the most important thing, like KB said, man, catch the ball when the opportunity is there. You can't beat them. You can't miss those opportunities. You
can't beat them. You can't beat them laying the ball on the turf, man.
And defensively, my bad. Go ahead.
Well, we're going to get to the defense side.
Okay, we're going
to get to the defense side. So here's my thing. Here's my thing offensively, and I keep saying this, and I'm going to be very honest with you. I know everybody want to see the ball thrown around the yard, and maybe I'm an old school dude. Maybe this right here, whatever. But, bro, we got to establish the run.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is our best players on offense, believe us or not,
are in the backfield.
In the backfield. Chaney, Knighton, and Cam. I don't care what nobody say. They've been the most consistent. They've been right. They don't have the dropsies. They don't have this, right? And I'm going to ask a legit question right now. Who scare you on offense at receiver? If you were the DC on another program right now, who scares you right now to say, okay, I got to double that dude?
Probably the tight end.
And if that tight end scare, if Mallory scare you, we in trouble, dog. If you would have said Brevin Jordan, okay, Kyle Pitts, like, you know, Mallory, dog. Mallory.
I don't think. Yeah,
hold on. I want to pull up this. Hold on, just quiet. Mallory scares a defensive coordinator. That's who scares us right now in the Miami Hurricanes offense. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but we're talking about scares. Like when I think Waddle or Devontae, you know what I'm saying? Them dudes, like, they could take it 60 at any time.
Right.
I get what you're saying. Just from
it's a family show. I almost did a curse. Go ahead, guys. Woo.
I say Mallory because he's a mismatch. You know what I'm saying? If we want to be honest with, he's 6'5". You know what I'm saying? He got pretty good speed for his size, and he's pretty good route runner. I mean, he's a matchup nightmare for a safety and a linebacker. That's why I say he would scare me. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Brevin was there, I would say that. But, you know, to me, I would be more worried about the tight end right now because the other guys really haven't improved much. But I think later in the season, Keyshawn Smith will be the guy that's most feared on the offense.
Yeah, and here's my thing about Mallory. I'm not saying Mallory won't make plays. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about the dude that you know can pop this thing 60 at any moment.
Like the Jeff Thomas, the Philip Dorsett's, the one we had here, those type of guys.
That's what I'm talking about. Like you know what I'm saying? Like if I gave that thing to Sonoras, I ain't even say Santana. Sonoras pop that thing and boop, he gone. Like those are the fears. I ain't saying that in the red zone. Yeah, I might say, okay, let's look out for Mallory, jump balls, just that position.
Right.
But I'm talking about at any point. All right. And so again, I think the running game is huge. Here's the deal. They stout up front. They are stout up front. You understand? But I still think that is a game where you put it on and you drive that joker. You got to find out. You got 3 cats that got 3 different. I think it's a beautiful backfield. You got Cam, right? The off tackle, straight ahead, one move go guy. Then you got Knighting, the little lightning bolt. He can go out, catch passes, screen, blah, blah, blah. And then you got Chaney, who's a combination of both of them cats.
Exactly.
Yep.
Like, I don't know too many people have that kind of backfield.
No. Then you got
nobody in the country.
Then you look at the 2 freshmen you got coming in that could, you know what I'm saying, that could give you some relief. We don't really know what they can do in the game, but just based off the, the high school deal, that's 5 studs in the back.
That's 5 deep.
They say Knight not playing the Alabama game. He's still hurt.
No, I don't know. There's a rumor out there that he's suspended.
That he's suspended. Is a rumor going around saying he's suspended. But nothing's come out formally from the university. So
okay.
Until then, in my mind, he's playing.
We'll know something with prep this week. If he getting reps with the first and second team, we'll know if he suspended or not for real.
We're going to find out real quick, man. Yeah. All right, also, let me do this real quick before I jump into – well, let me ask you, everybody, offensively, let me go through this again. This kind of little preview of
what we're going to do. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Who's going to be, in your opinion, I'll go with you, Groove, who's going to be the standout receiver this year? Who's going to be the guy that's going to take it? Because right now, I don't think we have that guy yet.
I honestly think it's gonna be Keyshawn Smith. I think he has something special about him. It just from watching it, me and Ablakk, when we seen his film in high school, it was like this kid right here is gonna be special at Miami. And just how the coaches and the players talk about him, even the defensive players, they they talk about how fast he is, how explosive his catching rate is, and things that nature. I think by the 3rd game, he's going to be the guy that everybody's talking about from the receiver standpoint. And I also think Mark Pope is going to have a good year too. To kind of throw that out there, he's going to surprise a lot of people.
All right, Mark Pope, go ahead. Hey, Black, who do you think from the receiving side? Who do you think is going to be the dominant guy?
I mean, he took my guy. You know what I'm saying? Keyshawn has always been. Keyshawn has always been my guy. Even last year when he got in the game, last year, if those who watched the games and really paid attention to him, he was always open. If either the ball was underthrown or it was a pass interference that didn't get called, and like that catch he made in the bowl game, when you rewind it and if you stop it, that was a catch for a touchdown. He caught it, got his foot down, but they didn't review it. Like, if you go back and you watch that play, you can be like, that was a score. But every time he got in the game, Coach, he got open. It's just something about him. He knows how to get open, and he's fast, and he knows how to run routes. And everybody's talking about him, from the head coach to the OC to the position coach to his peers. You know what I'm saying? Like Walter Payton said it best. You know, when you're good, you would tell everybody, right? But when you're great, they'll tell you. Not saying he's great, but his peers exactly. His peers are telling us that, yo, this young man can ball.
Also, he stacks. He's very good at stacking the cornerback. That's his best attribute to me. He stacks, man. Even them games that he was open, because he stacked those DBs so well, they can't play on him.
That's real. Let me do this real quick, man. We got some love in the building, man. We got Norman in the building and said, "What's good, gentlemen?" And Kane fan with the $10. I appreciate it. And as well as, let me see, I think I just found it. Mo Better Canes for $19.99. Great show, coach, with the Storm Warner crew. We good. On the 4th, just established the run. Get tight ends involved, coach. Don't sleep on Mallory and make adjustments when needed. Hashtag Canes all day. Guys, again, I appreciate you. I'm going to give you love in a segment when I go to defense. I'm not sleeping on Mallory. I'm just saying he doesn't scare me.
Hey, coach, can I say one thing about the tight ends real quick before you push it on?
Yeah, but I'm gonna go back. I'm still on offense. Yeah, good. Because I know you're gonna talk about tight end. I know we're gonna talk about Elijah Arroyo and them cats too. But here's what I want to ask you.
That's my guy.
Yeah, Elijah Arroyo. I did a WRE on his first one. I have to say I really wasn't. Yeah, I think I did an update one on him, and I was like, yeah.
I saw your update. I saw the update.
Yeah. First one, I was like, yeah. The second one, I was like, this is what I want right here. This is what I like. You know what I mean? Like when I look at a highlight, I don't want to see you catch every pass you ever caught in your career. I want to see a highlight. I don't care you caught no 5-yard hitch on the ground unless it was the game winner. Right. You know what I'm saying? But anyhow, you said that about receivers. We got a gang of them. A gang of them. Which one of the true freshmen are going to break in this season? And you be like, uh-oh.
Man.
I say Jacoby George.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say Jacoby George too, but then I can go with Romello Brinson. How could I be wrong, right?
It's all opinions at this point. We're gonna find out real soon.
Right,
all opinions. I'm gonna say this. Can I say this? The one I love the most, that doggone Brashard Smith. I like that.
Yes.
Like, listen, I just like, he's not big, right? So far as height, he's a thick cat.
Yeah.
Right.
But I'm gonna tell you something that, and maybe I'll just buy it. But when I did his tape and I did his highlight, and like you guys may notice or not, when I do those films, I don't look at them. It'll be the first time I put it on and I record it live, just like that, like it's recorded. I thought when he on that kickoff, I think maybe the second or third play of his highlight, I thought he was the returner. The returner had passed him. He took off to go get the free and block so my man could score. That right there mean a lot to me, baby. That gonna show you got some dog in you, right? You got some dog in you, and I like him a lot. I look to see him doing the dirty work. You know what I mean? Like you say, that running back, he played running. I know football, we always talk about he played running back. I just look at him like they call him the Swiss Army knife. You know, big cliche, the Swiss Army knife cat. Just doing any and everything. You know what I mean? I just hope he can take that on. But go ahead, guys. I'll let y'all get it.
Yeah, Brashard Smith, man, great talent, man. He reminds me. I hope they utilize him like UM did Darnell Jenkins and Devin Hester. Backfield, slot, you know what I'm saying, return. He can do it all. Like I said, he has that thick frame. You know what I'm saying? He's not the tallest, but he has that frame that can take on a load. You can get him 10 to 12 touches a game, and he's gonna break at least 6 or 7 of them and get some good yardage.
Like Percy Harvin.
Like Percy Harvin. You know what I'm saying? And with that, what's the kid named Kerryon Johnson? Like that type of workload he had at Auburn. I can see him having that in Miami. Come a lot of zone, jet motion out of backfield, lining up in the backfield. Yep. You gotta utilize those type kids, man. But I think those 3 receivers that we all talk about, those guys are gonna set the tone. Okay, we don't know what actually for, because Keyshawn would be live in effect when these guys next year too.
Exactly.
You know who leaves, and that's gonna be scary, because those guys, I think we ain't got to worry about nobody dropping no passes.
No, they just got they got that alpha in them.
Yeah, they got that in them, man. Real quick, I think I missed a donation. I believe it was Jay Blaze. I'm not sure, man. The chat been rolling. We got 276 here. Jay Blaze. He always in the building, man. I don't
Oh
know
yeah.
if
Hey yo, what's up, Jay? What's up, Jay? What's going on, champ?
you know, I apologize, brother. He always supporting, man. If I missed it, this thing was rolling. And sometimes I try not to put the donations up because it break the conversation sometimes. Right. But and I be trying to, like I say, well, I'm a one-man band back here. I'm over here typing stuff, putting stuff checking temperature, you know what I'm saying? Stirring the pot, make sure my soup's still hot. So it's all kind of stuff going on. So anyway, let me do this. You say you want to talk about tight end, because I think running backs, I'm gonna be honest with you, I think those three, I don't think a lot of freshmen see any action unless it's blowout time, because they still get those 4 games. I don't foresee them seeing any action in this first game. Be honest with you, but let's go ahead and talk about Mallory. And I know you want to talk about Arroyo, so go for it.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to talk about Arroyo. I just even me and Groove used to talk about him when we watched his high school film, and we would talk about his route running and his willingness to block. Right now, it's like, yo, it's unheard of. And now that he's at Miami and he put the weight on, and he's another individual that they're talking about. And I told Groove, I said, man, look, I'm not saying he's him. I said, but he reminds me of K2. I said, just the way he's built, he reminds me of Kellen Winslow Jr. You know what I'm saying? Right now. I said, don't know if he's going to be the player that K2 was. I said, but that's the mindset he puts me in when I look at this young man. And if we get anything, if he's anything the player that K2 was, oh yeah, we already know. Like, yeah.
We're going to find out quick. Go ahead.
Just kind of piggybacking off what it said. I like the fact that he has the height of Will Mallory, but he has the break and tackle and the agility of Brevin Jordan. He's like a mixture of those two. When I watched this film, like I said, I watched both of your breakdowns. And you kind of hit it spot on with the first one compared to the second one. But it just shows progression. And I can only imagine what he's looking like now, because it seems like every year he's gotten better and added something to his game, because his stacking receivers now, or stacking the safeties and things that he didn't do that at first, but now
his game is growing. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So I can imagine what he has added, being in that weight program, that summer conditioning, and he added size. And I think he's gonna have at least 200 to 300 yards this year. I think they're gonna have to keep him on the field. They're gonna have to get him on the field in some way.
Yeah, and here's the hardest part about it, because we're gonna get right into defense right now. But here's the hardest part about evaluating talent, right? When you're evaluating talent, you have to look for the things that are not seen, right? The intangibles, because you don't know how he is being coached, right? There are some high school programs that coaches out there, man, they got 4 coaches. You understand what I'm saying? Like, everybody doesn't have 25 coaches on their staff. You know what I mean? But you got great players. You got some states that don't take football as serious. So they only allot 4 coaches, 2 for varsity, 2 for JV. They don't understand what all it takes. I mean, so when you're evaluating guys, you got to look beyond the tape sometime, if that makes sense. When you're looking at the film, that's what I try to do in the WREs. I'm trying to look beyond what I see on the surface. You know what I mean? And that is the key to recruiting right there. Let me get these guys their love, and we finna jump into defense and get up out here, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We hit to the big question mark. I really think you brought it up, talking about the run game. Let's talk about this. I think our backfield so far as safety and corners, I think we have a lot of players. I think we have some very good players, and we have some players that are returning that have some great experience. So that should really help them out now. Okay. We'll start there and work our way forward. What do you guys think so far as the defensive backfield, corners and safeties look right now? And if you want to include strikers, we could put them with linebackers, however y'all want to do it.
I think they look excellent, man. You know, and T-Rob and DVD I trust, you know, and I know they're getting coached up well. I saw a video where, you know, T-Rob was like tearing one of the DBs, a new one, for something small, but it could be major. You know what I'm saying? Don't be peeking inside when you got outside containment, when you got outside leverage and run support. And it's funny because my son just had a scrimmage, freshman, he was playing varsity, and he had run support, and he got kind of washed in, and I'm taking pictures, and I ripped him a new one. Like, yo, you got run support. Don't be letting him wash you in. So, look, DVD and T-Rob, I trust them. I like what I see out of the DBs, out the corners and the safeties. Bubba Bolden is looking to have a breakout year, a more of a consistent year. And I think the corners in itself is going to be awesome. To Corey Couch, he's been a dog since he's been there. Dion even said it when he was at the Under Armour practices, like, yo, he's a dog. And the competition level is raised. Like, come on, he's been getting starter reps over Tyreek Stevenson, who everybody penciled him in as the day one starter. He's been working in at nickel, but, he's going to be all over the place to create some diversity on the defense. So I'm really not too concerned. And they said DJ Ivy game is starting to evolve, and he's becoming more confident. So if the back four can play, I think it's gonna make it easier for the front seven, because they go hand in hand.
Go ahead, Groove.
He hit the nail on the head. What I like most about what I've been saying, a lot of those guys look a lot more fluent in their back pedals. They don't look as robotic. They look more relaxed. Like they're, not saying that I'm a big Mike Rump guy. Not saying that he was a very good developer in my eyes. He took some guys that nobody thought would be anything and made that we seeing them playing in preseason games right now. But I just think those guys, sometimes you need that shock factor to show you something new. And then just the repetition of T-Rock being there kind of probably, change the mindset on a few guys. You see what I'm saying? Like DJ I, he's learning a new technique that maybe better suits him, his style, his body type. But like I said, from what I've heard, he's doing excellent as far as his coverage skills. And Keyshawn said in his interview earlier this week that the hardest DB he goes against is DJ Ivy, because he's so long and it's hard to get around and it's hard to stack him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that should tell you something right there how much he's involved this from spring to now. And the safeties, I have no issues with the safeties. Those guys, man, a lot of people sleep on Gervin Hall, but just hearing from chatter in the camp that he's having a really good camp, and that's very encouraging to me. So, Blocky, he said, in T-Rob and DVD, I trust. So I'm not worried with that. My main concern is the linebackers.
Yeah, we're going to definitely get to them. So here's my deal, right, about DBs. There's two things, and it's funny you brought that up, right? The thing that stuck out the most, you said, was that T-Rod was ripping my man for doing what?
Looking inside.
And hold up, but what did I just say earlier? The safeties are part of the run game. And that was our problem last year, looking inside. We were always getting pinned inside, whatever the case may be. And that's why this is what I'm saying. If you look at those things were existing last year, but UNC pulled the scab off and blew it out the water. We just were more athletic to run down a UAB running back, to run down a Louisville back, to run down a North Carolina State when we got to chase these guys. But it was there. You understand what I'm saying? That is what's important, is that now we're understanding the fundamentals of playing within the integrity of the defense. And the only thing I have to say this for the DBs, they got to trust these right here. Trust your eyes.
Trust them eyes.
Trust your eyes and you'll be okay. Let's jump into the linebacker because we're running short on time. Let's jump into the linebackers right now. I know y'all want to talk about it. We're going to include the strikers in that. The striker is easy. I'm going to knock that out. I don't know who do you think the starting striker would be? My vote is Chase Smith. I like Chase Smith. I don't care who's starting there, whatever. I think Chase Smith going to be a dog. I've been saying it since I saw his film. I'm going to go get me a Chase Smith shirt. And I don't even know what the dude's face looked like, though. I just know he was number 41. That's all I know. Chase Smith can knock him out. This is God's honest truth. He could knock on my door right now. I'm like, who this big dude? Let me go grab my Thule. Who this dude at my door? I don't even know what he looked like. I'm going to be honest with you, man. But go ahead, guy. Who do y'all think would be the starting striker in that situation?
Oh, I gotta go with the experience guy. I gotta go with Gabe. Gabe hasn't shown me anything that that he should be demoted. He was actually, to me, he was the best defender last year. He made the most plays. You rarely seen him get beat. I think he's elevated his game since he's been there. He's been moved from corner to safety to the striker position, and I think that's his bread and butter. He's very long, 6'3" kid. Got great size on the man, and you know that kid. He's been playing lights out since he's been at that position. So that's my starter.
Go for it, Ablakk.
No, I agree. I'll say Gil. I'll say Gil. I ain't nothing else to say. He didn't do anything. He didn't do anything to lose the job. So yeah.
Now let's talk about the two inside guys. I know Amari Carter is an issue, not an issue, but one of the guys they talk about moving around inside. They may have been talking about moving Chase Smith to the wheel. Who is the Mike? Is it Flag? Is it going to be a young guy, Deshaun Troutman? I don't know if he's ready for it just yet. But who's the guy? Who are the two inside guys within Mike and Will position?
Well, Keontre Smith is balling at that wheel. So I think Keontre has the wheel locked up. And from everything we're hearing Corey Flagg has been doing very, very well until he does it. So I think that's who they're gonna go with.
Okay.
Yeah, Keontre Smith, that wheel position, man. He's a comfortable position. He played that in high school. From what we heard, he's been pretty much the standout linebacker, front seven guy since for the fall camp. I'm kind of really not sold on Flagg. He has to show me something in live ball, because even in spring, I wasn't impressed with him. I think he has the talent. He came from a great program in high school, and he's been in I kind of give him the benefit of the doubt. Last year, he didn't really have a spring and fall and things of that nature. So I'm gonna wait and see on him. I don't have an issue with him starting. I just want to see production. I don't want to see him overrun and undercutting plays and getting out of position and causing big runs, because that happened a lot last year. But if not, Wayman Steed. I think Wayman is playing in the middle too, right? Jen has been Austin Cave from New Jersey. Okay, yeah. But I wouldn't mind saying
Camden, son. He's from Camden, son.
That's right, son. He's from up there. You know what I'm saying? That's right.
I wouldn't mind me personally. I wouldn't mind seeing Bradley Jennings start at the middle at Mike, because of his size, and you're gonna need that for those big backs.
So let me ask you this, because we're talking about those backs, man, and that's important. And it's funny. It's like we don't know, right? But we gotta kind of figure it out. That's just the interesting piece of it. But I gotta push, because we're moving out of time, because I know we want to wrap this deal up. And we will talk further about this, guys, on September 2nd, definitely. Let's talk about D-line right quick, right? Yeah, let's talk about D-line real quick. What do your guys take, Ablakk, on D-line? I'll let you go first on that.
Question, I guess the biggest question mark is who gonna start at besides DeAndre Johnson, who gonna be the other starting DN? Is it gonna be Zach McLeod? Is it gonna be Jafari Harvey? That's the biggest question mark right there. But at the end of the day, our defensive line was very, very productive when Jeff Simpson was the D-line coach, right? So whoever he rolls out there as the starters, I'm gonna be okay with it until they play and I see that
you ain't okay with
it. That I'm not okay with it. So but to me, I think that's the biggest question mark. Like, who are going to be the starting defensive ends? Like, who gonna be the starting defensive ends? We already knew who was gonna be the starters last year. We knew who was gonna start. Now it's some uncertainty there, like who gonna be the starters and how are they gonna perform? How they gonna perform.
Go ahead, Smooth. Groove. I'm gonna let you go, and then I'm gonna ask a question about it.
Okay. I'm like you said, man. In Jeff Simpson, I trust. He worked wonders with our defensive linemen. I think Nesta and Ford or Harrison Hunt, I think those guys are gonna have pretty good seasons. I actually think Zach McLeod is going to do pretty good at defensive end. A lot of people thinking he's just this small guy. I think he's bigger than Roche. You know what I'm saying? He's bigger than Roche, and Roche was very productive for us at defensive end last year. And look what he's doing in the league right now. So, like I said, whoever Simpson roll out there, like Ablakk said, I'm good with until they prove otherwise. So that's my take on that, man.
All right, yeah, because here's my deal, right?
I'm sorry. One person, I keep getting heated for this. One person I would love for them to give some time at linebacker, at defensive end for this game is LT. I would love to see him get some. Well,
that's what I was going to bring up. So now in the defensive line part, does Leonard Taylor get an opportunity in this game? And the reason I asked that, right? Let's take the fandom out. Lil Birdie's been telling me he's been having some issues on the field, right? With some production. That's just what I've been hearing. Maybe I'm hearing wrong. Maybe I got something in my ear. But like KB said, we used to just dominating dudes, right? You running through a cat just because you better and more athletic. Now you got that 23-year-old grown man that probably married, paying taxes and trying to get a check. And you coming in there at 17, 18 years old. And now he got that grown man strength and that weight room strength and technique. And you out there think you're going to use that same little swim move and you better try to get your ribs broke out there. So
we used to take it to the bench.
So they all go up and you take the heel of the hand right there.
Yeah.
Hey, so the reason I said that, because there's very few D tackles that can start, like a Tyler Davis that's up there at Clemson. I actually coached against that dude. He killing us. But there's very few D tackles as true freshmen that can go in there and handle them double teams. Because not only you got to fight one, you got to fight the double team of two of these grown men trying to whoop your behind. You understand what I'm saying? So I was just wondering from you guys' point, do you think that would be? Do you think that he gets some burn in this game as well?
Me personally, if I was the D coordinator or the D line coach, I would give him some reps, especially in this game with those tackles being so big. And we know they're gonna like to do a lot of zone blocking. We need to set that edge. I would give him some burn. I think he's athletic enough to play D end, strong side. You just give him a look there. He doesn't have to start there. You gotta have, get some of your best players or put Hunt at defensive end on certain packages. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my take on it, man. I think we got to figure out a way to at least give him a look, because if he is producing. But from what you said, you hear, I've heard that he's done some good things, but you hear he hasn't done such, some.
Well, I'm just saying, maybe had some issues when they first started. Maybe it's panned out. Maybe I don't know. And of course, guys, I know y'all killing us in the chat. Yes, people are going to rotate. We understand that, but we're talking about the people that's getting the majority of the snaps here.
Exactly.
I know there's going to be some rotation. There's going. I get that. I'm just trying to. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. And I think.
I want to make sure they're like, but everybody's going to play. I know they're going to play. But
I think he'll get some snaps at D tackle, to probably utilize his speed and his burst, his first step quickness to try to, create havoc and get in the backfield. He'll get a couple snaps. He'll get some burn. He will.
I'm most excited to see Big Miller, though. That's what I'm most excited to see.
Let's see. I'm excited to see all these guys. I want to go, man. I have to be honest with you. I know this is going to sound crazy. This is the first football game I paid to go to in 20 years.
Oh, wow.
Because I was always coaching. I was on the will call list. I probably could have got on this one if they had one. But I was like, let's go pay it. I'm just saying, I said that to say I'm a fan now. I ain't a coach. Like, I want to just go see. I said that, not talking about money. I said that to say I'm going in as a fan. I mean, I got my Gatorade. I'm gonna have my popcorn. I'm finna make a mess. I'm finna be talking trash. Like, you know what I'm saying? I used to be sitting in a thing with notes, taking notes on how to scout a team. Man, get that crap out of here. Guess what I'm finna go do, man? I'm finna go have fun like a fan. You know what I mean?
What section you in? What section you in?
I have no idea, bro. I'm in the building. That's all I care. I'm in the building, baby. But wherever I'm going to be, I'm going to have to look at the screen anyway, because dude going to be looking like ants out there, probably from where I'm sitting. But it don't matter, man. Hey, as long as I'm in the building, I'm having fun with it. Listen, I want to say, guys, thank you, man, for coming on, especially on short notice, man. You guys have been a lot of fun. Please go check these cats out. I'm going to let y'all take yourself out in this sense, but I'm going to do all my little promos now. I'm going to let y'all finish this thing out. Check out our sponsor, man, right there, Mr. Alex Tabio. Point down right there for me, Groove. Mr. Alex Tabio, all right, that sponsors the show, man. Does a great job when it comes to anything so far as real estate. Trust me, just give him a phone call. Everything's in the description as well. He will answer the phone, as well as Solo D that allows us to use his music. The shirts, we had a couple people buy the shirts. I hope y'all like them. I just did it for fun, have fun with it. I'll be out there. I might be giving out some Polo Timmy shirts. If you see me, as long as you hold up your phone and it say subscribe, I might give you a shirt. Let's just make it happen.
Bring it. I need me one.
Yeah, I got one. I got some. I got a box of them over here. Hey, I'm flying Southwest just so I could bring them on. Don't have to pay for it. You dig me? All right. Hey, and then also, I just got word in the chat right here. 863 Kane says only 2 spots left for the college fantasy football. Let's knock this out. The draft is Thursday. So, guys, jump in. It's all Power 5 programs. All right. Anybody from Power 5 and Notre Dame, because they're independent now. They went back to the independency, I guess is the right way to say it. But it's just something to have fun. $25 donation to get in, $200 refund, if you know what I'm saying. If you become the champion, $50 refund or rebate. I'll put it to you like that. $50 rebate if you lose in the championship. So other than that, y'all go check out Miami Flow Show. It's coming on at 8:30. Guys, I'm going to let y'all take it out. And after that, man, we out of here. Thank you for everybody. We had 237 in the chat. We almost were at 300. I don't know how many likes we got. I can't tell. Other than that, I'm good to go. You guys give your plugs and where they can find you and all that good stuff. And we're going to take this thing out of here.
You want to go first? You want me to go, baby?
Go ahead. You got it.
Yes, sir. Hey, like I said, this is Big Groove, a.k.a., you know, the groovy one. My hashtag, my Instagram is Storm1andGroove. You can find me on Twitter at StormGroove. Also, check us out at the Storm Warning, man. We try to give you guys some good barbershop talk. That's the theme of our show. We just keep it raw, uncut. We try to, cut them. We don't try to do it too much, cousin. You know what I'm saying? But it may slip out from time to time. But if you want to get some good intake, some Kane insight, you know what I'm saying? We just try to come up with some different topics to speak on. We try to be different. And you're going to see, man, my boy Ablakk have some heated arguments. You'll see a lot of stuttering. But, man, we try to give y'all some good content, you know. So check us out on Thursdays and Fridays. Also, we have a big show coming up the week of the game. We're going to have some former national, not Miami, but Alabama national champions within on the Saban era on the squad, along with some former Miami. Dang. We're gonna, you know what I'm saying? So tune in. I think that show's gonna be next Wednesday. Not next Wednesday. Wednesday of the game. So
September 1st, actually. September 1st.
Tune in right before my man Hayes show. So tune in to that, man. And you know, like I said, man, you already know I gotta do my bird call, baby.
Hey, that's my man Groove, you know, the one and only. But hey, this is Ablakk, the other half of that great Storm Warning show. You can find me at IG at stormwarning.ablack, and you can find me at Twitter at Ablakk2. You know, like he said, we got a dynamic show on Wednesday, September 1st. There's gonna be some Bama players, some old Kane players, and we're gonna chop it up. We're gonna get raw and uncut, that straight talk, Storm Warning style. Want to give a shout out to the U Network, Max, Flo, T2I, everybody, John. Coach Hayes. We appreciate you, brother, for allowing us to come on your platform and do this thing tonight, yo. We appreciate all the love everyone showed us since we started this thing. You know, we're over 200 subscribers right now. So we just we pushing on, man. We just trying to be different and give everybody, you know, that straight raw Kane content.
That's the Ibis call, baby.
Hey, real quick, y'all. You know why I'm laughing? Because it do sound like Cole from Martin. But I swear to God, maybe y'all tell me if I'm lying. When he did, I heard somebody say, "What the hell?" I swear to God, I heard somebody say that in the back, like, "What the hell?" And I know it ain't in my house because I got on headphones.
Right.
I heard somebody say, he was like, oh. I heard somebody say, "What the hell?"
But like my
Listen,
man,
man, we out of here. Hey, we out of here, man.
Hey.
Hey, I appreciate y'all boys, man, so much, man. We out of here. We out of here with Solo D. Y'all will have fun as always. I'm separating mine because it's like the little one. Well, man, I don't know. They talking about this thumb touching, man. We don't touch no thumb, man. I don't know, man.
Man, we gotta touch him.
The wholesome one be getting on me about that all the time. He get on me all the time about that stuff. But anyway, man, y'all boys, I appreciate y'all. We out of here. Have fun. Get you something to drink. Use the bathroom. Go check out Miami Flow. And peace.
Peace, man.
Canes over here. Get some canes over here. We got some canes over here. There go some canes over
Relax
here.
and take notes while I step in, ain't no question. I've been reppin', see my squad ballin', that's a blessing. I'm texting with my homies from that West End Zone crew. Say they taking shots, told me roll through. I told you about that orange and green. We click tight, big bites, we destroy your team. Make the world view our games like a horror scene. Stuff opponents in a can like Goya beans. I mean, representing for the team, let us hit it out. You can't get connected with us, shake your signal. Infamous with that swag, it's original. The copycats could copy that, but we go get some more. No gay, no Seminole. We let it stay, but in the state we is the general. Coral Gables around the world, we don't have a limit. We read that you from the streets to the academics. Get some canes over here. Get some canes over here. Get some canes over here. Throwing U's up, how we do our thing over here. Get some canes over here. Get some canes over here. Get some canes over here. Throwing U's up, how we do our thing over here.
Ooh, we do please is the hurricanes. You ain't got that work, you can't serve the canes. I know you been watching, we been hurting things. Where that crown at, homie, we them dirty canes. We gon' get that title, what that purdy ring. Gotta turn over chain for every team. Green and orange on my back, yeah, the foreigners back. I'm scoring while you roaring like a lion getting shot. ¿Qué pasó, papi? Tú no puedes conmigo. Argentino de principio, huracán en mi equipo. Got the passion like Sebastian when I'm rapping, that's a fact. Got that 7-6 jersey for the legend, one sap, yeah.
Get some canes over here. Get some canes over here. Get some canes over here. Throwing U's up, how we do our thing over here. Get some canes over here. Get some canes over here. Get some canes over here. Throwing U's up, how we do our thing over here.
We got some canes over here and we bout that. Solo D and them ballin' boys, yo, we got that. No good chillin' in the cut, hard rock pack. And if you hatin' on them canes, better stack. It's the state of the MIA. The U is back, what them haters gotta say. Them hurricanes, we be ballin' all day. Turn over chain, got the people going crazy.
Now whoop whoop at the sign so you know who it is. They counting finals ballin' like the U up in here. Gold teeth, grillin', chillin', Solo D what it is. We got the turn up chain, gang up in here. Cause it's a UM thing, orange and green is the gear. We coming to you HD so it's crystal clear. Now put them U's in the sky, don't stand and chill. And let them know if they don't know we got some canes up in here.
Get some canes over here. Get some canes over here. Get some canes over here. Throwing U's up, how we do our thing over here. Get some canes over here. Get some canes over here. Get some canes over here. Throwing U's up, how we do our thing over here.
Canes, we be ballin' all day. Canes, we be ballin' all day. Canes, we be ballin' all day. Them hurricanes, we be ballin' all day.
Who that? So low.